Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 9th instalment of the Shed End podcast.
Episode 8, you donkey.
No, it's the 9th.
This is number 9, isn't it?
What episode is it?
This is episode 9, isn't it?
Hang on.
I swear it's episode 8. If it's episode 9,
It's episode 8.
Oh! Oh, look who knows their episodes. Okay.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, mint.
And welcome to episode 8 of the Shed End podcast. That is our intro right there. You're in for a very special episode today, ladies and gentlemen. For once, we've listened to valid criticism and we've fixed up our whole setup. No more black hostage room. We are no longer being captured and tortured by
What?
certain individuals. Anyways, we thought that we'd make a big announcement today, welcoming to the show the fourth official member of the Shed End podcast, Big PGFC Will. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you for adding me to the show, guys. Much appreciated. Very big fan. Been a fan of the Glory since I was about 8. Became a member in 2013.
Nice.
So I've been around for as much as I possibly could have been, you know, through the fun old days of salary cap scandals and all that fun stuff. But no, I'm just a big advocate for the club, big fan of the pod. Really glad to be here.
Good shit.
Good stuff.
Well, we may as well start it off. we may as well start it off on a positive note because what we have been doing, unfortunately, for our last few episodes is being incredibly concerned.
You mean every single fucking episode?
Well, every single episode we've done, we've been incredibly concerned about the team going, what the fuck are we watching?
Yeah.
I think what we were like after the most recent Brisbane game and then after the Armadale pre-season friendly, we were a bit like our mate Stan Lazaridis and we said, wow. Because we actually, for once, we actually looked like a team that was not only half competent, but actually could play football fairly well. And I know it's like, well, it's early in the preseason. Yeah, granted. But we've been saying, I'll stick my hand up. I like to say title charge every single season, and then we end up finishing last. So.
But Jovan is going to soundbite this. You know he will.
I know I say this every year, though, but this is genuinely like the first time I've had hope. Like we actually, I haven't seen us look this good in so long. Like, we look so sharp, man. Like, I don't know if we look fitter now.
Yeah.
Like 4 weeks into training than we did at the peak of last season.
Yeah.
Another thing as well is that, holy shit, I've managed to watch a Perth Glory game without feeling physical fucking pain looking at the weather we're playing.
Or needing serious amounts of alcohol.
Like, oh my goodness, it's insane. Like, I don't think I've ever enjoyed watching a Glory game as much as I did. Like, maybe... You know, I was going to say the 1-0 against Western. No, that was terrible. That whole game was terrible. From the off, we were playing incredible. Even when we went 1-0 down, we were still the better team. We were pressing. It looked fluent. It looked proper. It looked like we actually set up to fucking achieve something.
But it's like, but the good thing is for me is that when we watched, especially the Brisbane game, it's like you could see a shift in terms of our approach. Like, if everyone can think about when we played our games, like let's say under Richie or under Ruben, or even at times under Popper, we were very much a team that would sit off. We wouldn't be the team that would try and press. And even when we did try to press, I can remember so many times last season where teams would just have to do one pass and bang, it's broken. And but you look at how we are now. The Armadale game, when we were driving down in peak hour traffic, like I'm sure everyone else was, and trying to think what the lineup was, and seeing the beautiful video from Gareth where he was giving us all the information, the pre-game rundown in terms of how we're going to play against Armadale.
I had to pack my passport for that game.
We did, yeah. But then we almost crashed the car when we found out that Bodnar was starting.
Way! Come on.
So, but lo and behold, in that Armadale game, which is on a different point, Luke Bodnar looked exceptional in that game, and it was great to see him back in the team. And we've been crying out to see Bodnar for so long throughout the whole season, saying this team is clearly not balanced in the midfield, and it needs a number 6, a pure number 6. And people are like, well, why going Bodnar? Well, he's the only pure number 6 that we have, but even still, he was very good when he had played under, whether it was Richie or Ruben. He was a very good number 6, and he showed that in the game against Armadale. He was really technically excellent. I thought defensively he was strong. And then his assist for David Williams' third goal in that preseason game, he did a beautiful shimmy to get around his player and then did a beautiful no-look pass to play Williams through. It somewhat validated our problems in some way with what Stadge was trying to do last season, where he didn't give Luke a chance. He didn't give Luke enough opportunities to show I can actually provide a bit more balance to the team, and maybe give someone like Ollie Bozanic at the time, or Mushti Amini, or even Aaron McInnes a bit more, I guess, license to just go and play. Yeah. Now you look at how our midfield is. I must admit, when I saw Gamulka as a 10, I was like, wait, what? Why? But he actually looks decent, boys. Like I thought he would have played like next to Brandon, and then maybe someone else could have played number 10. But in both games, looked pretty good.
Though, if that is going to be our official starting midfield, because obviously we haven't seen Pennington or Amini yet, so I don't know.
Or Bagaraja.
Yeah,
that is true. Also, I'm sort of confused with, like, look, we've obviously been talking a lot about, you know, how we thought Driller would bring that real RB style football, and in an aspect he has, but formationally it looks very fluent, and in one part I enjoy that. I think it's good because it tells me that the team has a set plan. We're going to go at games to win. We're not setting up in some bullshit defensive structure. We're not
parked in our own half.
Exactly, essentially. And it looks like we can either switch between a 4-3-3 with a single pivot or a 4-2-3-1, which I really liked. I really, really liked that. We showed off both of them against Brisbane. They both looked effective. We had so many players that came off the bench. So many of the young guys looked really good.
How many times in that Brisbane game, especially just to catch you off, did Brisbane not have any clue how to deal with us, either when they had the ball or when they didn't have the ball?
Well, they had nothing.
Funny you say that, because statistically, we finished with, I think it was like 34% possession.
I'll actually get the numbers
but
up.
we did way more. So Brisbane, yes, they had more possession, but it was like us last season. We didn't know, we had no creativity. We just passed around the back. We didn't know what to do. But now we're like a completely different team.
Yeah, exactly.
So we had 38.2% possession. But the important thing is, I've seen lots of people talk about it, and even on RBTV, like the difference between possession and then there's effective possession. I don't want us to be keeping the ball for shits and giggles and to get the possession stats up. That game against Brisbane was a prime example of why we were ineffective under Ruben, because under Ruben, we could keep the ball. We could keep it for long periods of time, but then nothing would happen. It would just be, we're just going to keep the ball, and then we're not going to be able to find that penetrative pass or get that combination going. But every time we did have the ball, especially in the second half, we killed them. We were really quick. I loved how direct we were, and just some of the passing link-ups already this early on was excellent. I put up a clip on my personal today, and it was starting from a goal kick. And normally from a goal kick, I would shit my pants last season because I thought we're going to lose the ball in some way, or we're just going to go full, let's bomb it long and inshallah, maybe tag it, we'll do something really special. Now it's like, well, let's see if we can actually pass the team. Because there's actually, if you check the numbers out, there's been a reduction in the amount of long balls that we do compared to last season. So I like where we are at with the red ball model. You can tell that David has really spent time with Rangnick and with Nagelsmann and with Hassan Hutel, and he's really got that system down pat. And I think the thing for me will be, how are we going to look once we get some more players in? I understand that we are close, assuming the information is correct, to announcing a new Visa centre-back. That's not too far away. So if that
and here he is now, please.
If he can come in and do well, I think it's going to assure our backline even more, and I think we're going to have a really strong and solid foundation, because I think on the two games that we saw, Armadale away and Brisbane and in Darwin, it's promising, but I think
we definitely need some sort of senior, someone experienced in the back. I know we've got Lockie Barr, but we needed someone with a little bit more. I mean, he is experienced. He's what, 30?
He's 29,
but he looked a little bit rusty.
But I know what you mean. You mean that sort of like top level experience, a guy that's been in and around Europe. He knows how to play under pressure in these kinds of structures. And I completely agree there. Look, Majex has done well towards the back end of last season. He's had his shaky moments, but he's shown potential. But I think the most important thing is that there needs to be a proper foundation for Majex to build. He can build in this system with Zrilic. That's great. But we need to integrate him in slowly, because he came off the back of getting hammered by fucking 7 goals last season. So.
And then 8 as well, He needs that spine.
He does. And can I just say, I think, we've all been following the Glory for a while. How many times do we watch them play, specifically away, and they'll do exactly what they did in the first 10, 15 minutes, good pressing, few good opportunities, and then we concede? And then we just, that's it.
And then they'll just act like they're
we shut down,
drop,
and that's it. But this game did none of that. We kept going and we got what we deserved. But I haven't seen that probably since the Popovich era at home. Because we would never, ever continue this good 10, 15-minute passage of play into the whole of the game. We would only do it for the first 10 minutes, and then as soon as we concede off a counter-attack goal, we give up. And then we just, we can't concede again, so let's just drop back a bit more and stop pressing.
Can I just say as well, sorry to cut you off, massive shout out to the fucking conditioning team, the strength and conditioning
We look
team.
a lot fitter.
Because
We
holy
look a lot
shit,
fitter.
4 weeks of preseason, and I've seen us go to the Darwin heat and put up 90 minutes of just pressing, of effort. We didn't step off the gas once. Not once in that
only in that period when Jeličić scored.
Yeah, that
was
little,
it.
That little margin
That
there.
was it.
But apart from that, holy shit, what a performance from everyone.
I think I
Fantastic.
want to ask you boys this.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I know it's pre-season, but in that game against Brisbane, for me at least, watching that, I think the boys were desperate to win.
Absolutely.
More desperate than they have been in previous seasons. And look, I know, like, to the back end of last season, it was just a shit show, and we were all pissed off, and I'm sure they were as well. But you could see with some of the interventions that the players did, whether it was on a defensive sense, like Risdon making that block on the line was world class, or from an attacking sense, where you had Gamulka busting his ass out to make that forward run at one point to get that corner, which led to the penalty, or even Abdul Faisal. You know, we haven't even talked about him yet.
Boy,
That's a fucking wow signing as far as I'm concerned. We like this guy's a freak.
Yeah.
We saw that in the Armadale game he showed some good bits here and there, but in the Brisbane game he was running up and down like a hoon, and he was taking on his opponent, and I reckon once he gets fully fit and gets a bit more confident, A-League defenders are going to hate going up against him. Because he's got the speed, he's got the confidence, and I like that he's a bit fiery as well.
Bro, imagine him and an Asmo up front.
That's pace abuse.
This is a guy that's never made an A-League appearance before. 19 years old. He's come from what equivalently... oh my God.
NPL.
The equivalent of probably State League here.
Probably,
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
It'd be NPL 1.
As in, I'm not saying he's State League quality. I'm saying he's
Clearly, he's
obviously
not.
much better.
But how we've managed to pick out this guy, honestly, huge credit.
the
Huge
new
credit to
ownership
this team.
Well, I
Yeah.
wonder how that... I cannot pronounce his name.
Lijalowski?
No. The
Bigaja?
Japanese.
Oh, Ayoma.
Ayoma.
Yeah.
I
Ayoma.
wonder, because he's come from MPL.
Marconi. I think.
No,
Was it Marconi?
it wasn't. It was...
Was you at Marconi then someone else, right?
Give me a second here.
But I reckon, because what I reckon's happened is I reckon David would have kept his ear to the ground when he was at Sydney looking at the NPL in New South Wales.
100%.
And he would have been looking at all these talents. And I reckon he would have gone to Stan and he would have said, all right, I've got about 5 guys here. You need to have a look at them. Let's see if you can sign them. And then I reckon Stan would have seen some of the vision of Faisal and he would have gone, wow. Ayoma as well. There's some YouTube...
Blacktown City and Marconi Stallions.
Yeah, so... But and Ayoma, there's some YouTube videos of him. He's very technical. I love the way that he can receive the ball and just glide past his opponent. I would like to. I'm hoping that if he does start, he starts as a number 10. Because I think we need that solid foundation of like whether it's O'Neill and Amini or Pennington or whoever. We need that solid foundation, and then once we get to the front 4, it's party time. Yeah, because I think
his pressing looked very solid as well in that Armadale game.
Excellent in the Armadale game, and his goal as well.
Oh,
brilliant!
Yeah,
was it Quire that played the ball?
It was.
I think so. It was Quire.
So slipped him through.
Quire over the 2 games has now had 2 really good assists. The one for Ayoma, and then he had the other one for Faisal.
Unlucky not to have a third too.
Hey?
Unlucky not to have a third assist too.
Yeah.
That passage of play at the end, near the end.
Yeah.
Quiet and Go has moved me so far.
He has.
I know Anasmo's coming off of an injury.
I'm not sure. I think he might be.
Okay.
Because he hasn't been with the MPL side in a few weeks yet.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he is.
Might be injured, yeah.
But look, I know not everyone can be a starter, but when you look at the fact that on the bench you now have guys like Anasmo, you have Ngo, or even like as our other winger options, you have guys like Carluccio, Faisal. Not only is there serious pace in this attack, but there's serious technical quality and room to improve.
I want to give a quick shout out, Doggy Carluccio.
Yeah.
When you talk about someone that not only has the work rate, but will play anywhere. So,
because he played left back.
Armadale game he played, I think it was left wing. No, right wing. Sorry. played very well, I thought, in that game. And then in the game against Brisbane, played at left back, did a phenomenal
very well.
job.
Yeah.
Work rate was excellent. I loved how he pressed. And then he also made a brilliant tackle on O'Shea in the box as well.
Yeah.
He's someone that you need in the team, and I'm glad that we've got him, great player. And these are the kinds of players that when we're talking about rebuilding the club, you need to have them because they're going to give everything. Their work rate is going to be at a level that you need for the system because last season, imagine trying to implement that style of football with the way in which the squad was set up at that time.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't have
It
worked.
wouldn't have happened.
No. So I think what we're doing right now is we're on a good trajectory, but we just need to continue to progress in the Australia Cup because thank fuck we didn't get knocked out first try.
For the first time in 8 years.
First time, yeah, because that was our first win since 16.
Absolutely was.
Jesus H.
So our City next week. How predictions?
Can we not?
Say it. He doesn't want to get memed again.
Okay. Well, first of all, how about we go over our projected starting lineups? Let's play it safe. Let's do that first.
All right.
Let's all go through. I think we all agree Sale in goal, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Risdon right back.
Yes.
2 centre backs. I'm assuming that the visa signing won't be here
No.
just yet, so we'll have to go with Majackson Bar.
Yep.
Left back. Now I've heard about this man's conditioning in preseason. and I've
Hamzawi
heard
apparently looks good.
he looks fit from what I've heard. Or
Which
from
is
what we've heard.
good.
Sorry.
It's good. That's the thing because we don't know much about him, and I just hope that the first time that we can see him, we can go,
Wow.
well,
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? I think this is a perfect opportunity to throw him in because, obviously, you'd want to throw him in like a preseason game, maybe against an MPL side or whatever. But to get someone in straight away, to get them used to the intensity and the way that this team wants to play, you need stakes on the line for the way that we're playing and the way that we're attempting to play. This is the perfect game to get
Melbourne
him
City.
if he's ready.
Melbourne City would be perfect as well because I don't think they've had any preseason friendly yet. They've had no friendly, and you could tell that
And their squad's sort of
their squad is thin as.
Yeah.
So you could tell when we played Brisbane that we already had that game of preseason game where the team had a good run out, and then all Brisbane's preparation was against Brisbane City, where I don't think all of their first team played, and apparently they lost 2-0.
Yeah, I did see that.
So if we can, I think this is the best chance we're going to have of beating Melbourne City, where they don't have their good players.
Yep.
And I think this would be a great game if Hamzawi is fit. And ideally some of the other senior boys as well. I'd like to see them in the team for next Saturday.
I think he will put out a pretty strong lineup because it is a big game.
It's a home game too.
It's a home game.
It is a
Home
home
game.
game, and the league doesn't start for another couple months. So
Yeah, there's no
really-
reason not to.
What do we think is going to happen to the midfield as well, by the way? Do you think he sticks with O'Neill and Bodnar? Or
I think he sticks with the same 3 that we had against.
I just want to say, sorry to cut you off, Alex.
Yeah.
I was really, really impressed with O'Neill that whole game.
Yeah.
I know we
I
had
agree.
some fairly low expectations for him coming back. He didn't look up to his top level at the Jets. He seems to fit this system so well, the way he gets played. I was so impressed with his quick 1-2s, lobs over the top to help out with Risdon's runs. Genuinely, I think he's going to be one of the keys to our.
Can we talk about that first goal that we scored against Brisbane, by the way? The passage of play leading up to it, and then you've got O'Neill just hanging out at the edge of the box, and then Risdon,
Coming in.
excellent run in behind. Brisbane, their defenders were like traffic cones. And I don't know, I thought of, when Brandon was at Sydney FC playing the ball to Ryan Grant, when Risdon made that running behind, it looked like a carbon copy from like a Steve Corica or Graham Arnold Sydney FC goal. So
It's not often that I'm proud to say that things look like Graham Arnold style of
Graham Arnold's A-League style with Sydney FC where they killed teams, but I reckon we're going to see that quite a fair bit with O'Neill playing those chip passes over to Risdon.
O'Neill just looked like the key player in that midfield.
He really
just
did.
sort of
He
meshed
did.
it together.
He makes it
Experienced
tick.
man.
He makes it tick.
Yeah, I was so impressed.
He is what we were hoping Musti was going to be when he came in.
Yeah, but they're different profiles though.
Yeah.
Do you know
It is
what I mean?
different profiles, but I remember us saying a lot when Musti came in, this is going to be the guy that really just gels the midfield
The
together.
And a
first
moment
season,
he
though, I
was.
feel like he did.
Yeah, he definitely did.
He did. Last season was a look. In
He was
all
also
in all fairness, there was a lot of injuries, but
But we've heard that he's apparently quite fit at this moment. He's we believe to be an important player, and that's what we need. We need someone like Musti to really take this team by the scruff of the neck in the midfield, because you got O'Neill who can ping passes about like it's a piece of piss. You need someone like Amini who can get the ball and run and drive through and give that team some more running speed through the middle. Because I don't think a lot of teams, if we're thinking about what other teams are going to do with their midfield, have that running power like our guys do at this moment. And look, again, small sample size, and not all the other A-League teams have played yet, but already our running power as a team looks 10 times better than what it has done in a long time. And, you know, that's not even mentioning how our front three looked whenever we had a counter-attack situation.
Without Taggart, by the way.
Without Taggart.
Yeah, exactly.
So to think about how we'll go against Melbourne City, who I don't know where their stage of their conditioning is at, but they haven't had a pre-season game. If we can get some more of our good guys with the senior boys back in, I think that's going to be a big boost to us. And I think we're going to be a bit sharper than them. And we need to convert that early pressure that we did have against Brisbane and turn it into goals. We need to get a quick lead early, because last thing we want is Melbourne City getting a flow and your likes of Lecky getting into the game.
Because they do have a solid midfield still, and if Lecky is going to be playing in that 8 like he was towards the back end of the season, that double pivot sort of, in a way, of him and Ugarkovic is still going to be a tough one to break down. For that reason, I really wouldn't mind seeing Aoyama start.
Same.
In all honesty. I would like to see Pennington get involved, but maybe as a substitute. My ideal starting midfield 3 would be O'Neill, Bodnar, and Aoyama ahead of him.
And what about up front?
Up front, look, I'd love to see Tags back. I'd absolutely love to see it.
I'd leave it as it. I'd leave it as it is.
I honestly wouldn't mind see Blair getting the start. I think he deserves it.
We need to talk about Blair.
Let's finish the lineup and then we'll go over specifics. I think Blair deserved that start for his cameo at the end there. Now, obviously, David Williams, absolutely phenomenal, but I would like to use this opportunity to get Blair a start.
Well, Willow, first of all,
he's so fit, man.
Man of the match. I think it was, for me, man of the match against Brisbane.
100%.
Completely agree.
Because the way in which he played like he was 28.
He did.
It's ridiculous. He's 36 as well.
Watching him, I was like... I like
you say he played like he's 28, like that's something young or something like that.
Well, no, but like in his prime.
That was 10 years ago.
In his prime.
He's just come back from holiday as well.
Yeah, but he was in his prime.
That is a pure...
Has David Williams hit his prime at the age of 37? Like what?
No. I'm saying like right now. But
I'm saying, bro, he's playing fucking crazy.
He ages like a fine wine.
The fact that he's kept, because you don't just it's not genetics. You don't stay in that shape easily.
No.
The fact that he's kept himself in that shape shows his level of professionalism.
He is the LeBron James of the A-League in terms of athleticism.
Soccer.
That's
No, that's Bruno.
Bruno.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Cool.
That's true.
But he plays with so much passion. So I'm going to be honest. I didn't watch much of him or any of him outside of Perth, so I didn't really know who he was when he joined. But the amount of commitment and passion he's brought to this club,
amazing.
It's incredible. And I was actually sad when I was watching it afterwards, thinking, man, it's probably his last season.
Yeah.
Like I wish he was a few years younger.
Can I just make a point quickly?
Yeah.
If David Williams is the LeBron James of soccer, does that make Trent Bahagia the Josh Giddey of soccer?
Whoa. Did you just say soccer on a football podcast?
That's it.
That's a good point. An Italian that just said soccer.
Running a football podcast and you called it soccer.
Look at me.
How
fucking
dare you.
joker.
Honestly.
Tinfoil hat, yeah.
Wow, Alex. Wow.
But you mentioned
Absolutely disgraceful.
But just quickly, you mentioned about Nathaniel Blair. When we saw him... Fucking you idiots. No, but... I was going to say, when these dickheads eventually get going... the game against Armadale...
Yes,
bro.
Yes.
But Blair... No, but he looked... I was just gonna say.
This is all staying in, by the way. This is all staying in.
I was gonna say about Blair, if we can get to him.
Yeah.
What a fucking unit he is.
He is Giroud.
Yeah, he is Giroud. He is the ginger Giroud.
Yeah.
Like they said, he's like Western Sydney fan that I spoke to. I was like, he's a big boy, and I was like, yeah, right, okay. And then he rocks up against Armadale. I was like,
what?
Shit!
It's big.
Fuck, he's a...
Wow!
He's Ginger's Latin magic, bro. That's crazy.
He has a very big presence up front.
He has a big present.
Big present.
He has a big presence up front, but he doesn't look threatening. All he needs is one touch and bang, like it's a goal.
Yeah. Well, that's it. But that's the thing. Like his goal against Brisbane was just the parts to it was
Stop, Josh. Don't stare at me like that, bro.
This is your fault.
You started.
I was just gonna say about the goal. You know how you love Man City and De Bruyne and all that? That was like a De Bruyne-esque pass from Williams. The cross.
It was a great cross.
It was a great
fantastic
He could
ball.
not have made it any better.
He could not have made it any better. And
That run in behind there from Blair, though, that was
Great.
expert striker play.
he plays like he's David Williams' age, and Williams plays like he's Blair's age.
You got to be careful what you say, man. People are going to comment, did Bro really just compare David Williams to De Bruyne?
Is it De Bruyne or De Bruyne?
What?
It's De Bruyne.
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne.
It's all right. The only City fan in Perth had a comment about it. That's all right. No, but this is the thing. I like the way in which, because remember in the earlier podcast where we were doubting Stan signings.
Yeah.
I think it was rational at the time for us to doubt the signings because it was like, fuck, like it's a lot of young boys. Stan's never been a DOF before.
Not A-League qualified players too.
Yeah,
like,
and
we haven't seen them before.
And it was like how they're going to work in the system.
Yeah.
But I think as like a taste for what's to come from the first 2 games that we've seen in pre-season, it's looking pretty good so far. And it's like we've not even seen our mate Milija Jusnic yet. And look, I know Jacob was probably going woohoo when he left the club in Brisbane, but Milija Jusnic is still a decent player as far as I'm concerned. He's still decent.
I honestly would like to see him start against Melbourne City
If he's fit.
if he's fit.
Yeah.
If he's fit. If
Maybe
not,
a half an hour cameo maybe.
I'd rather the cameo and then have either Doggy Orton go play ahead of him.
I would have
Paddington and Milija Jusnic really for the last half hour.
right side give me Doggy, left side give me Faisal.
Yeah. No, cool.
That's what we should. That's what we should do against Melbourne City. But I mean, I think the way in which the team is looking right now, like here we go. I'm going to make another comparison again. But our front three, four.
Luke Bodnar just looks a lot like Zidane these days. I
Here we
mean,
go. Yeah. No, but in terms of like the front four and like how we transitioned, it was like I was immediately thinking like Mourinho's Real Madrid. There we go. I said it. Who gives a fuck? This is a Showdown podcast. We say everything on this podcast. But on a serious note, our transition play in the first 2 games was excellent, even when we didn't have the ball as well, right? In the sense of our counter pressing and how that's the hallmark of David's style of play. It's all about that press. It's all about the gegenpress. It's all about the ability to just hunt your opponent. And I was saying to Josh on the way here that there was a difference if people went back and watched the game against Brisbane. The way in which Brisbane would press was very laissez-faire. It was laissez-faire. It was very like lax. It was. I do a bit of French, yeah.
Good on you.
Nah, but No, but I was just saying before, like
Angolo, can't
their press. Brisbane's press was is pretty
lackluster.
Yeah, lackluster.
It was pretty lackluster.
And you could see like they were sort of half-assing it. Meanwhile, whenever you saw our boys go up to press,
it was relentless.
It was relentless.
Yeah.
It was like, and it was great to see. It's what
they were playing like their life was on the line, and it was a cup game.
That's what I was saying about the desperation. So
100%.
It's and both of those things are true.
Yeah.
I mean, their contracts are on the line.
By the way, I would like to announce now, proudly, that Ross Pelligra and Stan Lazaridis, this goes directly to you. I am today starting a hunger strike. I will not be eating until Abdul Faisal gets his contract extended past 1 year. For any Glory fans that want to show me support, please donate money to me by subscribing to my Twitch channel.
But on a serious note, though, Abdul is someone that if he can get his performances going, he could command a decent fee and go to Europe.
This guy's a star boy. He's been doing all the pre-season camps and tours of the schools and everything like that.
You could say he's like Mo Salah as
Wow. Why are you making that?
What?
Yeah,
we literally got like Liverpool squad. We've got Majex as Van Dijk.
Yeah.
You got Mo Salah in the squad.
I don't know if you can say that.
We got
Josh.
the Belgian Lizaroue.
Are we allowed to say that on the
Belgian Lizaroue?
What? Lizarazu.
Whoever the fuck that is.
Lizaroue.
Oh, yeah.
Well, whoever that guy, Lizaroue.
Giroud and Lizzo.
Lizzo.
Lizaroue.
I was going to say as well.
Lizzo Socceroos.
No.
Quick shout out, just touching on Brisbane. I know we're a Perth podcast. Just shout out Keegan Jelicic. Really happy for him that he's still really good.
Keegan.
He deserved
Keegan.
it.
Keegan.
I'm happy he's doing well.
Keegan, message for you, man. You should be playing for Perth.
I agree.
Shouldn't be playing for Brisbane. You should be playing for Perth.
He's good, isn't he?
You'd be
so good, bro. I miss him so much.
You're one of the missing pieces of the Perth puzzle. Come back, man. If you don't like Rubes and you don't like Brisbane anymore, come back to Perth, man.
Come back to Perth.
Come back to
We miss
Perth.
you.
No, not even if he doesn't like them. Just come back.
Just come back.
Also, I think we have to mention it in terms of former Perth people that are now at Brisbane. Ruben Zadkovic, mate, best of luck for the season going ahead.
What about what?
Anyways. Okay.
Wait, no, hang on.
To the next point.
Alex, I want to get your thoughts on Zimmer's goal.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, thank
It was a good finish, right?
Bro, the game ended 4-1.
4-2.
Oh, here we go.
4-1. Yelich scored, bro. It was crazy.
No, but on a serious note, before our podcast gets bombed again.
All right,
Zimmerino,
Ben Callahan, I'll reference it. Oh, God.
Zimmer. Look, this is what we said. He's a good finisher. We said this Josh and I said this on the podcast. He's a good finisher.
Okay, bro. I've name dropped him like in 3 episodes.
Okay.
He's a, but
No, he is a good finisher, but he's a poacher, right? He had no offense to him. Like, I think Brisbane is a good move for him because
he needs a game time.
He couldn't play above Dave or Tags,
No.
right?
Okay.
And he's that sort of profile. He's a poacher. He's not a runner. So playing him next to Tags or Dave wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Because you need next to him, you need someone who will make runs.
Did you not say pre-season he should be playing as a striker?
Who?
Last season, Zimmerino.
He's a striker, is he not?
No,
he's a winger.
No, you said that. You said he should have been the option running off of Tags.
Yeah. Well, why?
Yeah.
Well, why? But
I think it's just because at that point, I don't think Stach had the balls to drop Kolikovsky from the lineup.
But what? But okay, Okay.
I will say this now, genuinely, to Adam Zimmerino. I don't have a problem with him. Best of luck to the season.
I
Congrats on the goal as well.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad to see him.
I genuinely think I really liked him. Like when he played for Perth, genuinely, like I thought he was.
He was
good player.
okay. He was okay.
I
Some
just
of his
thought he got
finishing
so
was a bit
unlucky
suspect,
because
but
he
he
hit
was
the
okay.
times he hit the framework of the goal
Yeah,
and
it
he
was
got
crazy.
subbed on and just got unlucky.
I just think he was played wrong. Like
I agree.
He's
Yeah.
a striker, not a winger.
No,
I
yeah.
think he has a lot of potential, and that's why I was glad he left. Not because I thought he couldn't
get him out.
play, but because he'd get game time somewhere else.
Yeah,
I really
exactly.
liked him as a player. It was unfortunate it just didn't work out.
Crazy how we got a Bodnar revival and a Zimmerino goal before GTA 6, though.
Standard procedure.
Yeah. Dead internet theory.
Yeah, but I think just in terms of our final thoughts about the Brisbane game, in terms of the teams that
All
have
aboard
played,
HMS pissed the league, boys. We're
Well-
going global. We're going global.
that's true. But in terms of the teams that have played in the Oz Cup so far of the A-League sides, we were the best looking team.
Definitely.
And I think the boys deserve the praise because
I am
they've-
scared on behalf of Western United this season. I'm
Yeah.
scared on
they're
their
gonna.
behalf.
I reckon. Look, they're a team that will probably finish bottom. Look,
And Aloisi still will probably.
This Brisbane Western
Yeah.
United battle for the spoon will be generational.
But that's the thing. I'm glad that we. No offense to the guy, but I'm glad we didn't get Aloisi as our coach.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm sure John is a good guy, and I've seen him analyse on Optus, and he does seem to know what he's talking about. But it's just it's not working for him as a coach.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's just not working. His record is pretty sketchy at best.
He started off well, but he had an OP.
Well, no, he did well with Western, but
Yeah.
I think
Go back to the hard days.
with the coach do you know what the irony of the win was for us against Brisbane? Before they appointed Ruben Zadkovic, apparently Brisbane went pretty hard for David Zrilic.
Oh wow.
I remember that, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They wanted
know
Zrilic
that.
before they got Zadkovic. So it's in terms of like bringing in it's a coup for us. It's a coup for us to have someone like David at the club.
Major coup.
Well, Ross said that himself,
Yeah.
but I don't think he was doing like a sage and hyping it up more than it
It
was.
sounds like it genuinely was.
But it was like, but it's like a genuine coup because the guy, like we said on one of the earlier podcasts, his education as a football coach is up there. I don't think there's many Australian coaches
Probably not.
that have had an education like he has, and it was all about him trying to get to that point where
Brother, you caved in my fucking spine.
it was all about. It was just.
God.
It was all about Dave like, getting that opportunity where he could show that he could be a really good head coach.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm really happy that we got him. Obviously, Stadge is now with Western Sydney, and look,
Shout out Stadge, by the way.
shout out
Love you, Stadge.
shout out to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully you do lose to us. But other than that, hopefully,
Yeah.
you know,
I just wanted to make a
it
point
goes
on
well.
Aloisi as well, right?
Yeah.
And this is the one thing that I think he struggled with last season as the Western United coach, and he will continue to struggle with. He has an insane knowledge of the game. We know that. We know he's he's a decent enough coach because he won the league. We know he knows what he's talking about tactically. But the one thing that, on behalf of Western United fans, pisses me off about the way he manages
Yeah.
is he doesn't make enough changes when he needs to.
Do you mean tactically or personnel?
No, tactically.
I agree.
Tactically. Him, Stadge suffers from the same thing. Even
that-
even top level managers like Jesse Marsh and
But hold on, but that's
and
but that,
others.
but that, but that, but that's just sorry to cut you off. That seems like an Australian coach thing in terms of
I
coaches
was
not
gonna
being
say
able
this.
to make
I was gonna
like
say
changes
this.
on the fly.
It's an A-League coach thing where I don't know what it is.
They're too. I think they're too stubborn, and they want to. They think, oh, if we throw like different
Yeah.
plays into it,
stubbornness
make
is
plan
just,
A better.
It's a part of the Australian DNA.
But you look-
it's also
yeah.
why I feel a lot of English managers struggle as well.
And then you look at the two best teams of last season, Mariners and Wellington. They had coaches that were making all these little tweaks all the time, and they were making a team that on paper everyone would have gone, nah, that's bottom of the ladder stuff. Play really well, and that's what I'm thinking with
And
Dave.
the two
Yeah.
guys,
With-
what countries are they from? Overseas, from England, and the other guy.
no, Giancarlo's Australian.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but he's got the most Italian name I've ever heard, bro. So
True.
True that.
I'm going to bring up what I was talking to you about.
Oh, here we
in
go.
our group
Yeah.
chat about the A-League.
So
So I've had this opinion probably for the last since I started watching the A-League. I personally think it doesn't really matter. Of course it does, but you could have a mid-level squad, mid to low-level squad, right? And if you in the A-League have a really good manager who knows what they're doing tactically and knows their personnel well and have a good fit squad, you can win the league. Not simply, but you have a better shot than most teams who have your regular run-of-the-mill managers, right?
I agree.
Because, as we said before, right, in the Premier League, it is the status you must have a.
No, they keep
this is why we can't do podcasts in a good mood, boys.
No.
This is what happens.
You need to have a world-class manager in the Prem. If you don't, then you don't stay in the Prem.
Yeah.
Which is why you need good players, and then the world-class manager comes with it as your Premier League club. But when in the A-League, getting a well-known world-class manager is so rare that once you get that manager who knows, it doesn't really matter. Let's see with the Phoenix. He's
Yeah.
a really good manager, and their squad was like, oh, poor squad, they won't do anything. Look how far they got with a manager who knew what he was
a
doing.
game away from the premiership and a game away from the
Exactly.
grand final.
Monty at Central Coast is another perfect example
Exactly
of
my
that.
point.
And want to know why Wellington did so well?
Mm.
Because he played pro clubs. Speaking of pro clubs, you should.
Soccer X. Oh yeah, sorry boys.
But yeah,
Gotta get to
so
my
that's
stream.
why, just looking at what Drill has done, that is why I'm actually quite confident. This is the first manager I've had since Popper where I've looked at the manager himself, not the squad, and I've gone, yeah, why not? He seems to know what he's doing.
Oh.
He's only been 4 weeks. I've not seen a manager come into this to any like the last again since Popper when we had that
Yeah.
one really good year where we were one game away from doing the double. Where I've looked at the squad 4 weeks in, we have decent depth right now except for the back line.
Yeah.
Our fitness is up there. Our press is immaculate, and this is again just 4 weeks.
Mm.
I mean, look, sorry, just sort of cut you off.
Yeah.
The depth in the back line isn't actually as bad as you think.
It's
'cause
just young.
You've got
It's just very
you've got
young.
Hamzawi Wallen.
Yeah,
You've got
Majex, Bar, Labib, Lijalewski, Risden, and Osler.
I just want
Yeah.
to make a quick comment though on David making a good impression. Apparently, from what I heard, the way in which he's implementing his philosophy is something that, from someone was talking to an insider at the club, it's apparently at a level that he's never seen before.
Yeah.
So it's clearly a high level brand of football.
I can
and,
feel it.
and you can
Yeah,
see
you can
like
see it.
he is someone that has like picked the brain of Rangnick and gone, right, how do you do this? And he's learned a well-known brand of football in
Yep.
3 years, and he's got all the details covered. And you think, well, we're probably one centre back away, and maybe another attacker, probably.
Like
I
one
agree,
centre back
yeah.
and a starting right winger. Or
yeah, agree.
Probably, yeah.
And I think the biggest tell you can always have, and also specifically in the A-League, because we've seen situations, including with the Glory and other clubs, where the players go out in the field and they don't agree with the manager's philosophy, that they don't try. You can see off the bat that I think, just watching the
They've
two
bought
games,
in.
every single player who's played has bought straight into the philosophy and they're giving their all. Again, no offence to Stadge, a lot of the players didn't buy it last season. I don't think they did. It just didn't look like they wanted to believe it.
Stadge is a great manager. He is someone that, especially in an international football,
Yep.
will galvanise a team and will get them to perform extremely well. I think
Yep.
his job that he did with the Matildas and what he did with the Philippines women's national
Yes.
team and what he did with the Mariners was an outstanding achievement,
Incredible.
and that shouldn't deter what he did at Glory.
Yep.
His problem at Glory was that he didn't make good enough tactical decisions and understand his squad in a sense of a profile and understand how can I create a squad that's gonna. He wanted to play finals football.
Yep.
So, in my opinion, what he should have done was he should have looked to have got the team that would get him the better result, and that means you're gonna have to play a team that's balanced. You can't be play. Well, Bodnar should have played, but also our brand of football.
Yeah.
I don't think we really had a distinct brand of football like we do now.
We didn't.
And I think you could see on quite a number of occasions that the structure that we had was flawed. Most teams in world football don't have a line of 6 as their front line unless they're really fit. Our problem was, and even Lazarita said it in one of the radio interviews, we didn't look fit enough.
No.
And when you're trying to play that basketball style of football where it's end to end and there's not a lot of time for recovery, and you're doing that when you're travelling and you're like Kaylin told you, you get there the day before, it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing for me will be going on to that topic of the away form. How is David going to be able to get that that brand of football across, and how are we going to play travelling?
Yeah.
Because I have no doubt that at HBF Park, if we can get a good crowd, teams are going to look at the A-League fixture list when it comes out, and they'll see Perth Glory, HBF. They'll be like, oh, fuck, scrap that out. We're going to lose whatever. We're going to get thumped.
I want a fortress again. I miss HBF Park.
Well, we should be. That's what we should be. We should be looking for that. But the issue is, how can we do that away from home?
We haven't done it away from home in so long.
Since Popper's first
Since Popper, this is the
because the issue is as well. We just need next season to be a success as well. Because if you have a look at the season when Richard Garcia was first our coach, do you have a guess as a rough percentage how many of our games we've won in the A-League?
I'm quite scared.
I would not like to know.
I'm going to say
40%.
21%.
I'm going to say 26.
It's about just under 25. It's about 24.
Ooh. Yeah.
From when I last did the count.
Wow,
We have struggled to win games in the A-League since Popper has left. And you can say, oh, COVID this or whatever. We've had injuries or whatever, but it's like it's still like you're winning less than a quarter about of your games.
Yeah, 100%.
So the thing for me as a fan that's trying to get excited towards next season, can I see our brand of football potentially getting us to play finals football?
Yep.
Yes. Because if it gels and all the players that we have can really get going, then I think we've got a good chance. And the other thing as well, in the Brisbane game, I saw a couple of comments saying that people felt that we were well prepared in the sense that we've got our business done incredibly early. You look at some of the other teams and they're fart-arsing around, still trying to find players, this and that. We've got, I think, 10 or 11 players in, and it's not even August yet.
Can I just say, do you remember that episode that we did? I forgot what episode it was, but that episode we did before the transfer window opened, and I said, I really hope that we do what we did with Popovic's first year and just get the signings done early so we can get a proper preseason.
Yeah.
We've done that. We've gone out. We've signed an entire starting 11 pretty much.
Yeah.
And now we're better off for it because we've had the whole squad together for about 4 weeks now. We're getting a solid preseason in. Game against Armadale, there were a couple shaky moments here and there.
Overall, it was decent.
And the game against Brisbane is probably one of the most dominant
we've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
and
it is that is without the likes of Tags, Amini,
Pennington, Hamzaoui, and probably a couple other new signings if we do.
And that's without the visa centre back that we have allegedly coming.
Apparently have, yeah. So that's the thing. I think the fact that we're looking decent 4 weeks in, what are we going to look like in October?
It's exciting. It's very exciting.
Round 1, I reckon we're going to hit, we're just going to go full.
Dude,
I hope we do.
Full out.
But when was the last time we started a season hard and fast?
Never.
Never.
Might have been Popper's first season.
Did we start? Did we?
Oh, we drew the first game and then we won the next few.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
think.
Yeah, I remember being so excited.
We were undefeated until
to
that
be
Sydney
fair,
loss.
remember when Richie he had his first game and it was
the 5-3
win.
Yeah, but then
Oh my god!
I thought he was coming home.
No,
boys.
wait a
I was
minute.
like, yes.
That was I remember that was a crazy season because it was like 5-3 win first game and then 5-4 loss
And then
second
5-4
game.
loss. Yeah.
But I just hope David as well can fix the defence.
Yeah.
Because if he can fix the defence, then I've no doubt we're going to score goals.
It'll take time, man.
Can I just say
Especially with
can I say
attacking
something
systems, it's the one
Go
thing they'll always kill.
I was something really random to say. We brought up Richie a few times. In my opinion, a really good player, obviously, growing up. Yeah, I used to watch him a lot, especially at Sydney FC, when he always seemed to love scoring against Perth. It was kind of very annoying. Just want to shout out
Thank you for respecting my household, James.
His brother Michael, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with him. Shout out to him big time. He has been a servant of the club.
Isn't he with the community side?
Yeah. He since I was probably 5 or 6. He's been with the club, not left during anything, right? And I see him at every single game doing stuff with all the, younger kids and stuff on the field and stuff. He's always organising it. Growing up, I did programs with him. He was always there. I was doing a lot of programs during the salary cap scandal and stuff when a lot of players weren't even doing anything with the club because they weren't being paid or might be getting kicked out. It was just him and Josh Risdon who would show up every single time to come say hello and fulfill the expectations that you pay for to meet the Glory players. It was Risdon every single time, but Michael never gave in. I just want to say shout out to Michael.
Good shit, man.
If you do see this,
Well done,
love
Michael.
your work, buddy.
Someone pass it on to him.
Get on the pod,
Genuinely,
mate.
he's one of the nicest blokes I've ever met, and he's such a genuine bloke for staying with the Glory.
But that's good that you said that about Risdon because it's
Yeah.
good that we've brought back WA players that do that do care about the club, right? Because him and
Yeah.
Brano, I remember I spoke with Brano a couple of years ago, and I left that interview going, "Fuck, that's one of the nicest blokes
Same with
I've ever spoken with in football," and that's why it sort of fucking killed me when he bailed off to Newcastle. But now that he's back, look, I'm ready to forget that because shit happens. But it's great that we have. And
there is no loyalty in the A-League.
well, there's that, but
And
the past
it's not personal.
No, the past
you
is the
can't
past.
get annoyed at players for leaving and coming. Like I know, as bad as that sounds,
Especially in the circumstances that Breno had to live.
But you look at who we have now. Like who are the three main pillars of the team in Rizzo, Brandon, and Tags.
Yeah.
Probably all went to games when they were kids. All WA players, all good people, and they love the club.
Yeah,
That's what we need.
Especially, he's never said a bad word,
No.
and he was there through everything.
Everything.
And he never said a bad word about the club. He could have so many times. I completely understood why he left. Because, the whole stigma of the A-League is that if you want to be selected as a Socceroo, you've got to go to Melbourne or Sydney, or one of those clubs over there. That seems
And
to
work
be-
with Popper in this case. Yeah.
Exactly. So, the amount of times he could have said, same with Brandon,
Yeah.
under the circumstances, both of them could have said any bad word about Perth, and I would have taken and been like, you know what, during that situation they were in, fair enough. But they didn't. And I haven't talked to either one since they come back. I really do want to talk to Rizzo because it's weird to say. I had multiple conversations with him growing up, and he seemed like the most genuine bloke, and I'm sure that hasn't changed. But yeah, again, just shout out Michael, shout out Rizzo, just two blokes, and Bruno, who just love the club, and I'm so glad that they still come back together now.
It is good that there is a bit of a positive vibe around the club.
It's great, isn't it?
It's so refreshing. Like,
so good.
Like I know that me and him in particular, have been victim to doing all sorts of rants on whatever
Well, I have
platform.
too.
You
Last
as
season,
well.
I called out
you
people
as
by
well.
names and you.
But we've been victim to doing too many rants. And look, I'm gonna stick my hand. I hate it, but
you can just see with the training videos, you can feel that positive.
there's a
energy.
different, but I'm just saying, like right now, I feel like there is something with this team where they actually love being at the club, and there's a good culture that's
Tags
around the
too.
team.
He seems
Like
to
you
really
could
like
see,
it, yeah.
you can see, like even when Risdon made that goal line block against Brisbane, Sale immediately grabbed from him and went, "You motherfucker, well done, good tackle," or whatever it was. But it was,
good tackle, brew.
yeah, frustrating shot. No, but it was good. But it's great.
It's
though.
fantastic.
It's what we want to see.
It's a good, positive team culture, and it's been so long, because normally that only comes with winning, right? You don't normally have a team that's losing and you have a good culture. I genuinely think we could come 7th or 6th, or maybe just miss out or just make finals. And already what we've seen, I still think the team's going to be still quite positive. Things will be positive because, like for me, a goal of mine for the season, realistic goal, is if every game we lose, if we can keep it to a loss by 2 goals or less, no 3 or more goal losses, I am the happiest man alive. Because the amount of times we lost the last few years where it was by 3 or more, and
Or
it was
7.
or 7 or 8, it was awful. So if we can somehow, I say somehow like it's a massive request not to lose by 3 or more goals, but if we can limit the massive losses and the losses we do have, we stay competitive, we stay to like a 2-1 and maybe lose 3-1 in the 90th minute because we tried. I couldn't care if we finished 8th if every loss was like that. I would be so happy that we still tried.
I said this as well. I said, look, this is a bit of a rebuilding year for the club. And you look at the recruitment that we've done, a lot of it's very younger guys, some with A-League experience, some more NPL experience.
Yeah.
But it really feels like Zrilic just finding his feet very quickly, and I'm very excited about it.
We have a future.
This is about as big as a reset as we've ever seen from the club, and it needed to happen.
I don't look. I would love to make finals, obviously. I think every Glory fan wants to make finals.
Absolutely.
But if I can walk away from this season honestly saying, you know what, we're better off, and I'm proud of the work that we've done, the performances we've put in.
Yeah.
The club has a direction going forward.
Yeah. I can see us
I'm
being
there.
happy
I'm
in
so
3 years.
there.
I can see us being successful in the future, which is what
Yeah.
I haven't been able to say that because most of our players have been quite like on the aging side of things. Or you just knew that once
That's
their
the
contract was
thing.
up, they were going to sign for another club.
That's the-
because
that's
they
the
were-
thing.
Like us to make finals before Dave retires.
Yeah,
so.
but that's the thing.
Yeah,
but, that's,
Dave
but,
deserves
but
it.
that's the thing about the aging players. I brought it up on one of the podcasts about how there was the review that was done about the Glory, and it was stop signing players that are over the age of 30. Look to prioritise signing more young
Just
players.
seem to love doing that.
Now we brought in Faisal, who's a gun, who looks really impressive. We brought in Lijalowski, who looks really good. You brought in as well Bugaraja, who looks like he's doing well, and he's with the young Socceroos now, right? Isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you got
Blair as well.
Blair as well. And then those guys are going to be really important to our future.
And then all the boys that we managed to tie down in NPL deals that
Exactly.
had other interests.
Exactly.
Quite a go.
Majax too.
Jalen Pearman,
Yeah.
Majax, Labib.
Engo as well.
Engo.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'd said Engo for
Yeah,
Nasma.
yeah,
yeah,
Nasma was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But this is the direction that we've been saying for so long for the club to go.
100%.
Yeah.
And finally
We're seeing it.
we've got owners on board
Yeah.
Yeah.
that know what we're doing, or that know what they're doing. We have a sporting director.
We got-
who,
we
for
have
as much as we like to take the piss about him,
Saying wow.
like saying wow. Stan's done a brilliant. As much as we like to take the piss, Stan obviously is very passionate about the club, about the position.
Great physio as well.
Great physio as well.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Club saying,
good is that, by the way?
club
How
saying,
good is
club
that?
saying we need to save money.
Yeah.
He was.
Oh no! Oh no!
Any
So,
means
He
necessary.
saw Faisal work down. He's like, right.
No, it's
oh no!
Yeah.
Trent Ostler's had a cramp and is now struggling to get out of the swimming pool. Lifeguards, Lazaritas just.
But it's good. But it's good.
Baywatch sprinting across.
But it's also good that we've got Socceroos that are involved in our club now, because then it shows that there's a pathway for our younger guys. Because we've got obviously David ex-Socceroo, Stan ex-Socceroo,
Tags current Socceroo.
Vince Grella,
Yeah.
who, as far as I'm aware, is apparently doing a lot of things behind the scenes, a lot of good
Believe he
things,
is, yeah.
a lot of good things.
Bresh
which
is
is
an advisor as well.
Bresh is an
Bresh is an
advisor,
advisor,
and that's what the goal should be for the club, and not just for the men's as well, our women's team as well. And I think they announced Stephen Peters as the coach.
They did, yeah.
yesterday. Apparently, he's done well in the
I
NPL.
looked him up, yeah.
New South
But you
Wales.
even
Good
look
record.
in terms of the players. You got Ollie Sale, who is still an All Whites regular. You
Yeah.
got Josh Risdon, former Socceroo.
Yep.
Brandon O'Neill, former Socceroo. Musti Amini, former Socceroo. Adam Taggart, current Socceroo. There is
a good core.
a very, very good
Fantastic
experienced core there.
Yep.
And if you look to add to that next season, if we do look to go in for guys like Ryan Williams, if they're available, you can only really add to that, especially with all the youth that we have. There's a lot. I'm just saying as an example.
No, but
I mean,
hopefully every year Ryan Williams is out.
hopefully-
Oh,
Yeah,
rumors
is
like
it
Ryan
or
Williams.
Sainsbury or Economides? or-
Yeah.
Hopefully we get a better TV deal so we can bring in the likes of
Yeah.
Sainsbury, like
Yeah.
higher profile
But I,
players.
but I think fans are still going to come to the games though. If we're being totally honest, though,
I agree.
I think
Just sport, please. Please.
Oh, please.
Buy the
bro.
A-League rights.
No
for
one
the
cares
season.
about the K-League, bro. Please, just give the A-League some rights.
You know how much good it would do if you bought the league rights, please.
Do you know how many people would watch the A-League if it was right next to the button to watch the Prem at 3 a.m. in the
that's what it
morning?
was, that's what it was with Fox though. Like you could watch the A League.
I know people that watch the
EPL.
fucking J-League. They don't even know how to fucking... Bro, they don't know how to pronounce the names of the players and they're watching the J-League. You tell me they wouldn't watch the A-League if it was there? Like, oh.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
The marathon.
If
games,
we were an
yeah.
Optus, it makes it so much more accessible, and people
Yes,
are like,
exactly,
"Oh, I haven't been to a Glory game in 10 years."
Glory,
I may as well
but
go."
Glory should continue to promote from a grassroots level, getting people to want to come to the
100%.
games. That's what we should do, because there's very much potential for us to have crowds of 8, 9, 10,000 again. The goal would be to get 10,000 members, 10,000 fans like we used to have.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the case.
Can I just say-
No, probably not.
Can I just say one more thing on the whole Optus Sport thing? I always hear people being like, "Oh, well, we can't get Optus Sport because they actually just live stream the feeds. They don't record it." I'm sorry, but are you telling me that the A-League, for the good of the league, with how much profit they'd make if we were partnered with Optus Sport, couldn't just set up a separate fucking recording service to give them the feeds to the games? Even if the streams went up 5 minutes, 10 minutes
Or if
after,
we had like a
who
partnership,
cares?
if we had like a partnership with one of the like mainstream broadcasters. or
Anything is
something.
better than Paramount.
calm down,
That's
buddy.
kind of
Yeah.
where I'm at.
Yeah.
Or Channel 10 showing one
I
game
don't
with
wanna pay
a
for
field
Paramount
market.
Plus.
If 10 had like a deal with Optus, that'll actually be ideal.
That, if 10 partnered with Optus,
Yeah, but it's like, but that would be the ideal thing. Imagine like we're playing really good and there's like a semi-final game and it's broadcasting us against.
And,
like a
and
Melbourne
surely they
City or
can
something.
upgrade the cameras at HBF.
They have.
Have
Yeah,
they?
because
That
after the
camera's
West,
they
after the Western
Remember
Sydney
this last
game,
season when they had the new camera angles and everything? We were like, "Ooh,
the Western.
wow.
No, that was me. I was going.
Oh no, that was when Ross got in. That was the first game that Ross got in.
Ross got in.
We
and
had the pyro and then fixed up the cameras and we're like, oh, hold on.
that smelly pyro no, that would stink. Yeah, bring back the flares.
Can I just say one thing that I'm excited about?
And purple nets.
First game of the season, I am so down to hear how the stadium pronouncer is going to pronounce the names. Zach Lijalalaski.
Bruce Camus.
Anus.
Bruce Camus.
Anus Hamzawawi. Amawawi.
It's like stand on the mic going,
Adam Adalalala Faisal.
Bro, he messed up the names so badly.
Bruce
Adam.
If they fix the match day experience as well, then I reckon even more fans would want to come. But I think if the club can, like I said, get their promoting shit right and can continue the pre-season form that we're having, where we can get more hype generated, then why wouldn't fans want to come? Because if we're talking about from a purely footballing perspective, in terms of seeing an entertaining brand of football, that should in theory win more games than we did last season, because I think from memory we only won 4 at home.
Yeah, that's about right. And it was all in like 1 month.
Yeah, 1 month. That was
we
it.
all thought it was all right, finals charge. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's fine. And
we
then,
thought it was like Kenny was back again.
And we had that entire front shed area covered.
Yeah,
for that.
Packed.
For that.
Packed.
Yeah, because we started winning. That was all it took. Just winning games.
Well,
and they did the free
and then
tickets
the
too.
Wellington game happened.
And then the Wellington game.
And
I still stand on. That was a good performance from us. I still think that was a good performance.
Well, because we parked the bus.
And we got a result against the top 2 team. That's
wasn't a good result from the Secos though. They were
fucking. But that's the thing. It's like if we can just build the hype again and get people wanting to come. Like that's the thing. Like when you watch some of those retro games under Kenny, where we had like the stadium bouncing.
Shout out Kenny. Love you, Kenny.
Love you too, Kenny.
But I've touched his head before, and it is very smooth.
Okay.
Great coach.
I feel like
He was presenting me with an award. I shook his hand and I touched his head.
I think Kenny's probably one of the nicest blokes I've ever met.
He's so nice.
I do feel like we are going in circles. Was there anything else that we wanted to bring up?
Yes.
We actually just have chatted absolute fucking shit this episode.
That's just what we do on the Shed End podcast.
I want to be negative now. I'm sorry.
Oh no!
Here come the
Feeling
DMs.
the
Here comes the DMs.
I'm actually going to bring Josh into this because we're talking about promotion and all the good things about it. And then yesterday we get this promo for the new Australia Cup game where if you join the membership now, you go for free. And
I'd signed up for a membership a week ago.
Yeah,
you
me
pieces
too.
of shit.
So should I renew my membership then?
Can I just say,
yeah.
they are such wankers for calling everyone last week to get them to renew on discounted memberships, and now you're saying,
Look, I get it's a marketing tactic.
Yeah, I get that angle.
But the problem is, I spoke to good old Josh Sino about this.
Okay.
And he agreed with me. Is like, yeah, it's a little bit like it's a marketing tactic. They're a business. I can't give them for free. But if you give it to members for free, and then obviously there'll be more people from the public that will pay. But then that incentivizes them to buy a membership because they'll be like, oh, I've got to pay for this, but if I have a membership, I'll go free, right? I see more value.
Do you know what was more disappointing? The fact that we thought that because the website glitched and it had our game against Melbourne City at HBF.
Yeah.
I think Finn put it up, the screenshot. It was like at HBF Park, and I was like, oh, fuck yes, we're going to go to HBF. And then it was like, nah.
But I feel like they should be rewarding loyal members like myself. I'm missing out on all the games in December. I think I'm missing out on like 4 games because I'm away. But I get it. Okay, I renew my membership. I renew my membership because I'm a loyal fan, right? And it's not about the money for me. It's about the passion. But
yeah, I'm with you.
But anyway, Australia Cup. I disagree. I don't think it should have been at HBF Park because I don't think it's a big enough game. If we made the final, HBF, it should have been at Dorian. I think Dorian's a more appropriate location because
also that pitch is munted at Sam Kerr.
Really?
Football.
Really?
It's a beautiful pitch at Dorian. It's central. It's near HBF Park, so it's more like it's
accessible,
more accessible for everyone.
Dorian's where we used to go nearly every year, wasn't it?
For
pre-season games.
But we lost all those games.
It was Dorian and Frank Drago, wasn't it?
We won one of them.
Which one?
It was like 2016 because I got a photo with
Against
Shane
Newcastle?
Smeltz and Edwards.
Smeltz wasn't in there in 16?
No, but back...
Schmeltz
was it 16?
14. I think you're 14.
I'm so old now.
We don't...
14.
14 or 13, one of those.
14 or 13.
But we had a shit record.
You're recalling
It was a
memories from
draw,
a pre-season game 10 years ago. You guys are so fucking
No, but I'm saying that's an
ancient,
example
bro.
of like Dorian. It used to be a thing. Oh, every season we'll go do some kind of game at Dorian. It was always a thing we do, and then we kind of stopped doing that.
We switched that up and did Hartfield Park for a couple of years. Remember when we played the state team there?
Yeah.
Well,
I have one more thing I want to add because obviously, people see my recommendations about catering, which they've done.
someone did. Yeah.
I would like if we could, so basically all the kids at the start of the game, pre-match entertainment, they have like, you know, the bouncy bubble
Yeah, which is
soccer
always
things
good,
and stuff. But they need one for like adults.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I
my
agree.
God.
I would
That
go
is
early
such
just
a good
for that.
idea.
I would go there earlier just for that.
No, you know what you do, right?
Yeah.
You know what you do? You get adult participants, okay, over the age of 18.
Yeah.
ID to confirm.
Okay.
$5 entry fee, and you get them to do like a penalty shootout challenge where you got to like hit into those top ends or whatever, and you can win prizes based off of whatever
Have
it
a
is.
scarf.
Oh, they should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have a scarf.
They should-
But like if you hit it like top corner in the stand, you
Yeah.
get an unlimited beer pass.
They should do. They should change. They should
think
change.
that's-
They should change.
I don't know
they should
about that
wait.
being
They
financially
should change it.
viable, but
They should change that goal to be the actual shed where me and a few boys a few years ago kicked the ball pretty hard into one of those sheds and caused a dent into it.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, but I did that before, and then it ripped the whole fence.
Oh.
No, don't say this on the pod, bro. You're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
Ross, he's just joking, please.
Nah,
Ross.
nah.
Catering wise, I don't really care because I just go to the members lounge and have some.
Yeah,
I
that's
wanted to
fair
make
enough.
one point. I made this point before, right?
Yeah.
The partnership with Zambreros has so much potential because I love Zambreros.
It does.
But
Nah,
can we
Guzman-
do this? Can we
United Ben will agree that
No, no, no,
Guzman
no,
White.
No, no. Fuck Guzmani. All right.
Last night it was lovely. Thank you.
I've
Actually,
never had it.
Please
anyway.
sponsor us, guys. Please.
Let me
sponsor.
talk. All right.
Let me talk.
Every home game, all right, I want us, okay, to go through, pick a player, all right, say David Williams, Adam Taggart,
Okay.
and they have a club special order
Yeah.
that the player decides.
That's fair.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
for example, before
No.
the game,
that would be-
and
that's good.
this week, round one, we've got the Adam Taggart special, which is like, it's a burrito with fucking
Right.
guacamole.
How funny?
and
Oi,
black
just
beans,
just
Red Bull.
quickly.
That's really
How
good.
funny? How funny would it be that if
strawberry
if-
vape and vodka Red Bull.
How funny would it be in round one if it was like on the bench? It was Zrillo having a burrito, just like pre-game, just watching the boys train. It's like casual having a burrito, going, "Yeah, this perfect shit's going well."
6-0 up, first game of the season. Just cut to the fucking camera on the bench. It's just burrito.
having burrito.
Yeah,
I really like that idea though, and you know you could even do.
gets more
like-
engagement.
Yeah. Well, how many rounds are there in the league? How many rounds?
27.
27.
And
you
we've
could do the whole squad.
With
Every-
Auckland now, do you reckon
home
there's
and
going to be
away
an extra round? Actually, no, there's not.
No, because we've only got 12 home games as
Yeah,
well.
we got 12 home games.
That's so trash.
Disgusting
Yeah.
APL. Fuck them.
Not good enough, Robbie.
When's it going to end? When is Glory going to get 14 home games to compensate for the amount of travel that we do?
Well, what I
Never.
don't understand, right? I swear Glory put out something saying they're going to compensate members, like discount the membership, because we're only getting 12 compared
Yeah.
to 13 games last season. But
they not?
it's not discounted at all.
Oh really?
Well, what about the members who've already paid?
Well, best we
That's so true.
best we
Least
best
fucks.
best we raise it now so that maybe someone can watch it and
Ross.
maybe something can be done about
Ross.
it if possible.
Ross, please.
Ross, you know.
I will accept a non-discounted membership if I get a signed Luke Bodnar shirt.
Hands
Ross.
up now.
That is
Look,
my condition.
Give me a free ticket to the Australia Cup game. I'm happy.
Yeah, Ross.
I think that's fair.
Ross, if you come on the pod, we will forgive these sins.
Who's going to drive Ross though from, let's say, his penthouse in Perth to come to Canning Valley?
It cannot be Josh. It cannot be Josh.
Do you
cannot
reckon
be
Ross
you.
will let me drive his Lamborghini?
Oh my god! Can you imagine we just go to the Glory and you just see Ross's just purple and orange wrapped Lambo outside?
KSI in the car.
Lamborghini.
Are there any points that we want to hit off before we have our game against City?
I don't think we've had a point that we've been talking about properly. Since the first 20 minutes.
Fuck it, do predictions. Score predictions.
God.
Starting with Will against Melbourne City. Go on, do it. Here we go.
I'm going to say goes extra time, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Australian
can.
Cup. I'm
Yeah.
going to say we win 2-1 after extra time.
I'm going to say we win 2-1 in normal time.
I'm gonna say 2-2, and then we went on pens.
I'm gonna say
L.
I'm gonna say we're gonna play like
3-0
MLS
loss.
style, and it's gonna be 6-1. And we're gonna go to penalties.
What?
Wait, what?
Didn't
is
you
this
see that
brother
thing
talking
about
about?
the MLS?
Oh,
Playing
yeah.
a friendly with
regardless
Arsenal
of the
and-
score, it's a
regardless
penalty.
of the score.
Oh, yeah. No, good call.
long as everyone has fun, guys.
Oh, Jesus.
He's going to go
No, but realistically, I don't think it's going to be a high score.
Oh, look.
I think 2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it'll be close because look, we gotta. I hope we can continue the form and look. The fact that we've had two
Mate, it's not even.
preseason games so far
Yeah.
it's good. We just need to continue to play as many A-League teams as we can because we already know how hard it is to play against A-League teams and get them to travel here or travel over there.
We should play Palermo at HBF Park.
I remember when I said that, Alex, on your Twitch, and I said Palermo's coming to Perth, and you were like, "Oh my god, wow! Oh, look at more, yeah." And then next minute,
fuck you, Snob is coming to Perth. Ooh. Anyways, that's going to be it for episode 8 of the Shed End podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to Will, and make sure you leave your comments.
If there's any questions or any queries, chuck them in the comments or send us a DM or whatever.
And I did put something out on the account, like a survey. If you have anything you want to put in,
we had some interesting responses.
If you have any problems with Josh as a person whatsoever, make sure you let us know on the Shed End podcast Twitter, which we will leave a link to down below.
They are completely anonymous, but I am going to read some right now.
Yes. Are we going to read some right now?
Yeah. Where's my phone?
I was just going to say, we're all so committed. Hands up, all together. Who's bought membership so far? Let's go.
Yeah, you said hands up and you put your hand in the middle,
Josh, you bought a membership?
Yeah.
Hands in the middle of memberships. Yeah. James.
Wait. James, put your hand in. James.
One hasn't been bought yet.
James.
He's not committing. We put him front and center on the podcast.
I'm waiting for a marquee signing.
James, you could
market, mate. We've got Anus Hamzawi, mate.
You get a free ticket to the Australia
I'm
Cup
waiting for a marquee.
Free ticket.
James is going to renew
free Gambrero's burrito token.
No, James is going to renew his, and then he's going to make a whole thing at Perth Glory FC. Gareth, I've decided to renew my membership.
Yeah, fuck it. He's going to go full mix.
Gareth, I've done it.
He's just going to go full mix over that. It's just like, I've been receiving multiple messages about the current status of my Perth Glory membership, and I would like to confirm today on my social platform that I have decided to confirm.
No.
Oh fuck!
Shout out Brendan Rowe.
All right, I'm just going to read a couple.
Wait, what?
I'm going to read a couple anonymous survey responses that we got about the podcast. What topics or segments do you enjoy most on the podcast and why? None, because it's shit. Okay. How would you rate the overall audio quality of our episodes on a scale from 1 to 10? 1, it's fucking shit. Get a new mic and some funding.
Ross, give us some funding. If you want this podcast to get better, mate, give us some funding.
They skipped all the rest of the questions.
Okay.
And then
let's get to another
this one is my personal favourite. I have no idea who this could be.
Yeah.
What topics or segments do you enjoy most on our podcast and why? Anything without Alex Papalia in it?
Don't put my government name.
How would you rate the overall audio quality of our episodes on a scale of 1 to 10? 3. What suggestions do you have for improving the podcast? Remove Alex. How did you find our podcast? Someone told me to listen to this stupid shit Alex says. Alex says. On that note, I think.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end it off with episode 8 of the Shed End podcast. Thank you all very much for joining us from YouTube or Spotify or wherever you're listening to from. Shout out to those people that just wrote those comments.
Shout out to our listeners all over the world.
We've got listeners in the UK and Singapore.
Hell yeah.
We are global.
And the USA.
And the US. Soccer.
It's called soccer.
Thank you to Will as well. Make sure you give him a warm welcome. Josh, what are you doing, bro? I'm not done with the outro. Bro.
End the show, Robbie.
I'm not done with the outro. Thank you to Will for his first appearance on the podcast. You guys are going to be seeing much more of him. And until the next episode, I'm just trying to delay this so Josh can just
We will be
sit
back
down
next
like a
week
muppet.
after the game.
Bye.